What's up, everybody? So today I have a little bit different kind of video. As you can tell, I did get a haircut. I think it looks pretty good. We are looking today at the sandbox, which is really exciting. If you don't know what the sandbox is, it's the greatest metaverse ever created. Why? Simply look. This looks like Minecraft was the originator, Fortnite, now Sandbox. So I'm going to get into everything about why I love it, and then I got to drop it because it's expensive habit. And it's not short-term profitable yet. So the sandbox involves real estate investing. Involves real estate investing. You have to understand how to buy and sell property and how to make quick profit. And this can be done with my methods that I've thought up and theorized, just pondering for this last 24 to 72 hours or 48 hours about the sandbox. All right. So what we have here is the map, the universe. So the sandbox is a virtual reality game where you are able to have two kind of worlds. One world is the virtual world that you see right here. And this is the front end, I would say, and back end development. It's the back end that really rounds out everything within your game, within your world. So you have your reality, which is buying and selling property. I have worlds and properties that I've written down that we'll get into later. Just give you a little brief. These are my goals. Crypto's down. I'll show you the price that it's at soon. But these properties are what allows you to navigate throughout the game. So you have a character, which is the front end, which is the ability for you to, and back end, gives you the ability to go from place to place, from your property, or complete quest to quest along the map. And it gives your children a good simulation of how to, one, build in Minecraft, understand programming with the very interactive interface program that it teaches your kids at a young age to use. And also it gives quests, which are fun little missions that can be created by yourself or done throughout the simulation of the gameplay along with other players. So I'll show you my properties. And mind you that this is completely your world. You're creating this. So let me give you a little bit of an understanding of what I'm trying to tell you. So you see this map right here, okay? Previously, when we had Fortnite, we had areas called tilted towers. And some might put that in an area like right over here in a high traffic area. Well, in this area, this part is London for me. This map represents all the areas that I have been to or haven't been to. So this area up here is under development. This area is under development, hasn't been fully discovered yet. This area here, cutting off from right here, and going up over here and down over here. So these are the property lines. Okay, these are my property lines right here. Okay, this area is discovered, but around here is. So if I'll annotate it, uh, it's very specific too because it's very creative. You need to be your own creator of your own world. So this area right here that you see. So just to give you a little bit of an idea. So I went and played basketball. And we're talking about undeveloped areas. These are no. We'll start. We'll start. Bear with me, guys. This is very fun when you get into it. Okay. You have then these discovered areas. So green is not the correct color. We're gonna go magenta. See if magenta stands out, and it does. Okay. You then have these areas down here, and we'll scroll down, but we'll just focus on the upper shadow of this area right here. And we'll go around it in yellow even so. Go around it in yellow. Okay. All right, so the yellow is discovered and the red is non-discovered up here. So these are the discovered areas. So this is the south end, southeast end. When I was in the United Kingdom, I went to a place called the University of Essex. It's in Colchester in the southeast end of the United Kingdom in relation to London. And that would be somewhere, this is Southend-on-Sea, if you're ever familiar with it. This is Southend-on-Sea. This area here is the entire North London, central London, outreaching London, anywhere around outskirts of London. This is Piccadilly, right here. My favorite place in the world, and I have a property I'm looking to buy right here. I'll put that in blue. Why? Because I went to London and I envisioned this office space right here. And I said, I want to get it. I want to buy it. I want to put my property in my business, in my apartment right here. Okay. This area right here. So, and then the outstretching areas could be like Manchester here, or you could have like Newcastle upon Tyne, or you could have like Mayfair right around here in this area, outstretching area. Just get creative with it. Okay. But this is my idea of London. London is here. Okay. Down here, I bought my parents a house down in this area, right along the water. Right along. When we go down there, when we scroll down the page, we'll take a look. This is just to give you an idea. Okay, it's right on the water. It's just a one unit. Okay, it's a nice little house right on the water. Okay. And then we have, all right, so you can get, now this comes into my next point. You can get very creative with this. So in this undiscovered area, I want to call this Tokyo. Why? I'll get into that in a minute. But I want to call it Tokyo. I haven't been to Tokyo, but that's my goal, is to go to Tokyo. This is undiscovered land. Okay. Over here, next season, I'm anticipating in myself playing in Belgium. So this area will hopefully be Belgium and the outstretching areas in the European Union. Up here is Western Michigan, because I envision this place of being a party place where there's a lot of house parties, but there's a huge monument, which is Dubai. And I envision Dubai being this over here, into this area up over here. So this is the Dubai area. I'm envisioning along somewhere around right here, this undiscovered area. You just gotta have fun with it. Just have fun with it. Okay. All right. This is Belgium. This is Belgium to me. So on the map, this is what they would say. This is what they would say. These are my tilted towers. These are my tomato towns. These are my whatever have you. So, all right. So we have this undiscovered area that is under development, because I haven't been to Tokyo yet. I haven't been to Shanghai. I haven't been to China. I haven't been to Japan. So I want to discover this area one day. But I have a property that I'm looking at right here. And this is in my thing right here in my map with what I want to buy my property. It's the west side of Chicago in the early 1900s. And we'll get into why that is, because I have a picture of a grid that explains the Manhattan grid back in like 1800s. So we have this grid right here, and I'm naming this area specifically under development right here, because it's like Chicago, it's old Chicago. It feels good. And this property down here is a 6x6, or is it a 3x3 unit? And I'm calling it the West Side Chicago Industrial Offshoot Apartment off Tokyo Lane. And so, why is this Tokyo? Well, this is the fun part that I'll get into. Looking at the premium lands, switching over to the premium lands. All right. Okay. Hold on, my computer is really slow right now. 1 second. Okay. Hold on. All right. Sorry, you just gotta sometimes apply filters and stuff to the map for it to populate. Okay, it's not. It's a shame, because I really want to show you. Hold on 1 second. All right, so we're back. I got the premium land selected on the light map. So this is Tokyo. Why? Because I envision Tokyo as a very social area where there's a lot of different people on their phones in different hotspots areas. But also it's like London enough to where you don't have to be on your phone. London is an architect's masterpiece. This is similar to Tokyo, but Tokyo has that adoption of the Wi-Fi. And as you can tell, there's going to be something in the future where these hotspot areas, these premium areas now might not be. And actually something might happen in the future where we create one big masterpiece right here. And that is my Piccadilly Square business office. It's a 3-unit. It's 135,000 right now. Right here. We have one big masterpiece. Piccadilly Circus. Okay. So, that's to explain a little bit about, what I'm thinking with this idea. Okay. So these hubs right here are Wi-Fi spots. And if you look down here, we'll scroll down to the bottom of the picture. But this also is home right here. There's a lot of Wi-Fi here, and that was true in my area. That was true in my world. And I envision Dubai being the same thing. It's very similar. You have Wi-Fi inside the shops right here. Shopping sprees. You have the house parties with all the Wi-Fi. Not even Wi-Fi. It's just whenever you needed Wi-Fi, it was there. So it's what you know. Okay. So here are the hotspots. Okay, so here's the property, the west side of Chicago. So what you can do is how you can make money in the real world, because that's the name of the game. Okay. I'm going to just give you an overall encompass of everything. Okay. I had to clear the drawings. But so the goal is to have 1 to 10. I want to have 10 to 100 properties. You have 10 foundational properties that you never sell. 1 to 10 properties that you never sell. Then you have 9 to 90 business stands, or separate concessions, or like apartments that you have. Okay. You never sell foundational properties. And if you do, you always have a predetermined house that you're going to buy right after, or we're going to reallocate to immediately right after. So this follows in with the real estate investing book. What this is you have the buyer and the seller of the initial property. Okay. And then you have, so it's a 3-way transaction. Okay. So you have the seller that's giving you the property. So let's say I sell here and I move here. So I have a predetermined area of where I'm going to move to right after, because I don't want to stay, without one less property, stay stuck. I want to always be moving and know my next move. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to move right here right after. So I need to know that I can buy a property A here, B, that this is a willing seller and a willing buyer of my transaction. So sometimes you'll have properties like here that won't be up for sale on OpenSea. You'll have to message them privately. They have it in their bio, 135 ETH. You'll probably have to message them saying you want the property. Okay. And so when you have a seller or a willing buyer of this property here from your selling point, as soon as you receive the money, you need to make sure that you have an agreement. You need to have an agreement with the willing seller of this property, as your willing buyer of this property, Okay. And you move there immediately. And so you maintain a now premium area, now better. Oh, also to mention, you never move. Always relocate to a better area immediately right after. It has to be a better area. It has to be a better area. If you're not moving to an area that is not better, true to life, I guess. Okay, so we have this sell now sold property to this newfound property that you now own in the off Tokyo Lane, or in Tokyo right here. Um, off the under development, could be Greater West Side Chicago industrial business. Um, and Elon lives over here. If you can't tell, if you see his and this map is ever expanding. This map is ever expanding. So this is just what we see right now. Okay. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm switching off the hotspots just to give you an idea. We're going to move down. Okay. All right, so now in this discovered land, I'm in trouble. Okay, I'm trying to annotate. Got it. Okay. All right, so I have what I call Washington Island right here in this discovered land. Okay, now I'll mark out my property lines here. All right, so this is my property line. So my idea is this area is my capital. Okay, and for it to be a capital, what I was told in London was that in order for a city to be a city originally in founding England, it had to have a cathedral representing this here. St. Paul's Cathedral. Right here. I have an idea of buying this property here. Okay. And I live over here in this area. I have my home. This is, this is developing Frankfurt. So developing Frankfurt. Okay. My house is right here. It's currently for rent, which is not a bad idea. What I plan on doing with this here is you can't buy it, but you can rent an NFT on top of it. I want to eventually buy the land. Okay. It is currently 6 by 6 unit. Okay. So it's 220,000, 220 ETH. To give you an idea, remember the Piccadilly business office space right here is a 3x3 unit. And that's 135 ETH, 135,000. And the prices of Ethereum, because it is crypto winter, as a newspaper shows it, it's crypto winter. And that number right there is $6,000 Bitcoin. We're going to get to the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum, but crypto winter has put Bitcoin from 60, 70,000 now all the way down to 19, 16, 13, 6,000 being projected. It's complete wipeout. Ethereum is at like 1,000. So that's why it's face value right now. Okay, but this Piccadilly office space, okay, this is a 3x3 unit, 135,000, 135 ETH. My house in Frankfurt is a 6x6 unit, 220 ETH, 220,000. So I have my state capital and also my apartment right here. So I have my original home that's paying dividends with an NFT. And then I have my apartment near the state capital right next to it. Okay. So this is the mindset behind the real estate investing side to the sandbox. We haven't even gotten into the game yet. This is just the business side to the two-sided world that there is, business and creation. So 10 foundational units, 90 creative units. It's your world. So this is one more property I'm going to show you. I have 7 properties. This is Washington Island. So if you look on the map of Wisconsin, you have Washington Harbor in the northwestern side of the harbor, right here. And so what you do is you picture and create your own little world. So this is my world. And you should always, really keep a passion behind your world. So Washington Harbor is right here. Washington Island, my place is right here. It's 1x3 unit. It's worth 6 ETH, 6,000, 2,000 each unit. So I also own, hey, listen, this is not a sob story. We're having fun. This is a fun game. Create your own world. Get creative. Get creative. Get creative. Be creative with your own world. Have fun with it. This is San Francisco. I've never been to San Francisco. This is still undiscovered territory. This is San Francisco Bridge. I own a property right here. I own a property right here, right on the water. So, this is right next to Belgium. Okay. Let's look at the premium. This is premium real estate. This is premium real estate. Just this little area right here, the San Francisco Bridge. So what's nice about it is it's low key as well. We can turn off the drawing, but I kind of like to have it on a little bit for a little longer. But right, it's kind of low key prime real estate right here with this bridge right here, because there's two ways in London. This could be the bridge right next to Big Ben. Forgot what that naval is called, the naval canal, but they only open it for the Queen. The only time they raise the bridge is if the Queen is going underneath, or a member of the embassy, the empire, member of the British Empire. Only if the Queen is going under the bridge. So this is kind of prime real estate, but this is as well. And I can definitely see this being the London Bridge while getting over to Washington Island. Right here. This is Big Ben, and this is, yeah, and then I can have like this be Grosvenor Street, Westminster, Mayfair, and then maybe like Chelsea up here or something, or be creative with it. But this is like the just the buildings next to it. I mean, this thing's fantastic. So be creative in your own world. The more I see, the more I'll be able to create. Like, these spots aren't able to be seen currently because I haven't been anywhere else in the world. And that's the great thing about it, is as you discover more in your real world, you can put this into the metaverse world. Okay, it all comes with discovery of the mind. I'm able to create this scenery for myself right now because I've gone out and I've been able to see other things to incorporate in this map. I'm creating my own map. I have my own tilted towers, my own, default home base right here, place that you used to go or whatever. It's all right here. And in the game, you get to create these things. You get to create these things through the interface. Just slowly evolutionizing yourself, mindset wise, game set wise, pushing evolution forward, develop them just slowly, inch by inch. But this is it. This is it. This has me intrigued. This has me intrigued. We got Binance over here as well. It's safe to say I've fallen in love with the game before even playing it, before having any real estate in it. It is crypto winner. So let's now get to some let's get into some talk about how much the real estate is currently. Matter of fact, let's just go to a trading view chart. So also this incorporates, the sandbox incorporates real estate programming, gaming, development, psychology, because it involves trading. So it involves branches. So we're looking up Ethereum. So this is what we're looking at. Bitcoin or Ethereum's touched 8,000. Okay, next area I'm looking at is 800. 800. This is 500. If we go back down to these areas, to 130, oh man, we'll be rich. I'll post this. I'll post this. I'll post this. Because this is Manhattan real estate, undeveloped, undetected just yet. And let me show you why. This is my academy. It's called Pilot Trading. I do plan on being a pilot, flying my own plane, landing in the harbor. So here is the real estate. Here is the grid map of Manhattan in New York City. As you can see here, Island of Manhattan. What do we have right here? Similar things as I had just put in. I can even do a screenshot of it up closer. Should probably be better. Now, the thing is about it is that because this is like investing in Manhattan, when it's in, 19, or 1800, this is for, your children's children. So you don't want, as a wealth manager and a hedge fund manager, you have different brackets, small, medium, and large. So for each one of these properties, I did a yellow, red, and green coloring system. So the total accumulation of all assets is 604,000. The smallest, which are just 3 properties, which are the San Fran home, the Miami, my mom and dad's house, in Washington Island, that home. So those cost 10,000. So then if you add on one more asset, the West Side 3x3 unit near Tokyo Lane, or off Tokyo Lane, the offshoot apartment, that's 19,000. So the medium with 4 properties is 29,000 current year to date. So the largest accumulation of all of them. So the Piccadilly House Square office is 135 ETH, 135,000. St. Paul's Cathedral, that apartment is 220,000. 220 ETH. And the Frankfurt property house is 6x6. And that is an estimate. 220 ETH, 220,000, because it's currently only up for rent for the NFT. Okay, so so as you can see here, looking at the grid, you see these individual circles, these individual lanes right here. This is the grid. This we're looking at London. We're looking at Londonville. We're working on the name, but it's London. This is London. Okay, but this is my world. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just showing you the properties and how you can look at this grid on the right and look at this grid on the left and say, if Manhattan one day was worth this much, and this is worth this much right now, where is this going to be in the time that Manhattan is now, today? And that's the question. How fast is this property going to catch up to this year-to-date property today? And when is it going to surpass it? And when is it going to set the next milestone? That's how we're going to get the economy back in America. That's how we're going to get the economy back in America. Because we can think it, we can dream it, we can do it, we can create it. Okay. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this. All right, I'm going to be in the picture. So how are we going to post for this picture? This is going to be forever, so. Yeah, it's not a bad one. I actually like that one. It's a good picture. Oh man, I didn't get my face in it. Oh, you know what? I saved it just because I need to save it. I think it's a good picture of me. That's petty. I'm not gonna do it. I have many good pictures of myself. But that was like for a really good picture. Um, so this is just explaining the close up of the separation. So you have, what is this right here? This looks like this right here. This is commercial building. This is a commercial building. Okay, same with this here. Just in a different format, in a different scheme. This is preparing you for the real world, your children for the real world. So what you do is you buy it You understand how to flip real estate. You understand the real estate market. You understand property lines. You understand property units. You understand property fees. You know, everything. Just, I was a dummy too. I'm a dummy. I'm still a dummy. I haven't finished the book. As in, I'm a real estate dummy. So I bought Real Estate Investing for Dummies. So when you have this money, you're gonna have to teach your kids wealth management. You're gonna have to teach your kids life. This is the game of life right here. And you know, what I'm thinking is when you pass this down to your kids, it's gonna be in your will. And you're going to have to say, I don't want you to sell any of these properties under these contingencies. It's in the book. Okay. And, you know, because it's just for future thinking. Where are we going in the future? Live forever. So this is a way to do it. You have your own little world that I created, and I'm showing you how to run, maintain it, and play with it. You play in your world. You play in your world. You go on quests. You learn how to program. You learn how to trade, because it does take trading to make this kind of money. Okay. It's an extreme wealth change. If your kids just know how to trade and you have all the money and you trade and you taught them so young how to trade and now they just know how to make money, they're not going to care about anything because they just have money. So this teaches a holistic view of life. So you need to have your kids, just saying, this is how I'm going to do it. When I have my kids, I'm going to say, this is how I did it. Whether that's right or wrong, that's up to you. This is how I thought was the funnest, coolest way to do it. And guess what? We all start somewhere. We all start somewhere. We all start somewhere. Dream it, do it, create it. Yeah. So this is what I see for the future for Sandbox. But it's all about, to mention, it's all about boosting money into your own pocket. And I don't think I made that point clear. So you want to help the economy. You want to help the economy. So what you do is with these properties is with these 90 creative properties, when you make that triple transaction that we talked about, where you simultaneously sell it, receive the earned money down payment, and then you'll simultaneously use that earned money to buy the new property under an agreement. I think it's called a verbal agreement or something of that sort, an encompass agreement. Once you do this, you then take this money that you make from the earned money from the seller of the property, and you convert into its base currency. If it's not already in its base currency of Ethereum, or Polygon, as it has listed on chain. Ethereum is high money right now. It's the Bitcoin of its Ethereum blockchain, of its ecosystem. Then you have Polygon, which is its baby brother. So you take this money that you get from the selling of that property, you convert into Ethereum. You then convert that Ethereum into US dollars. So you had sold your Chicago West Side apartment, and this is where preparation meets opportunity. You have your 19 ETH, your $19,000 apartment in your medium subcategory. What you have is the rule of crypto in this investing is you never sell or give up your property if you're moving to a better area, one, or two, if you have made over 50 to 75% return on your investment that you made. So you initially made $19,000, or you had an investment of $19,000. I would say 50% of that return is $34,000, $35,000. 75% return is $38,000. So you just made, if you made 50%, you made $14,000 on your initial investment. So you came out with $14,000 extra from your $19,000 investment, which is expensive, it seems. But in hindsight, you just made 50 to 75% more, which is not good. This is a creative property. These theories will be in further progress. This is just off of base hindsight. Just the basis hindsight. That's all. So, because the point of crypto is to be a luxury item. So you could infer, unless you make 500% or 750% of your return. Now that's what it is. And that's just a theory. So one Ethereum today is currently worth $1,081. 2 Ethereum is $2,163. So it's like you have commissions and you have things that you have to make up for. So when you buy a real property in Manhattan, what will happen is that you'll have $100,000 agreed amount that you and the seller will agree upon. But what's going to happen is you're going to buy, or you're going to purchase someone to come through to your property and assess the damages. Assess the damages in your property, and all the phase 1 and phase 2 things that will go into you accumulating a commission, an extra commission that you were responsible for to take care of. I'm not an expert at real estate currently, but I'm reading the book and I will get better at it. But so the gas fee for the 2 Ethereum, you could think of this as the discrepancies that have gone into the property, the visual appealing things in the eye. And then you have, price per square foot by unit. It's just reading it, making sure you understand it. But the property due diligence. So it's called due diligence. So you typically have 3 days. You'll typically have 3 days for a agreement after you have to be considered valid or not. So until the close date, the expiration date of the contract. So you usually put this in the real estate agent's trust fund, and it'll be a typical 30-year or 10-year U.S. Treasury, as looked upon in this newspaper. Same newspaper for the crypto winter. Okay. So you have the money rates. That's what they're called. And currently, the 30 years at 2.9 was the last. And this was on this is Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday's paper, and 3.23%. So 3.23 for the 10-year and 3.29 for the 30-year. And what this is it's just a it's basically a it's a holding place for your money. It's a very safe bond yield that will hold your money with very little to no floating loss on your initial investment, on your down paid investment. So this will consider your investment safe. And so with that floating money and the sellers, that's considered good faith. Attorney is considered good faith. And the seller with these gas fees will agree upon $100,000. And then we'll come through with these contingencies due to the due diligence. And we'll say we have gas fees, we have problems in the property, and because of your time and sweat equity, you can bring forward an ultimatum, and the seller or the buyer will have to up his ante essentially, in order to cover the profit before the contract expires. If the contract expires, it goes into the real estate seller attorney's name, and by that's unsuable lawsuit. That's an unsuable. At that point in time, you had just lost your money because you didn't take the money or cover the expense of the due diligence fee after the initial contract agreement. So that contract money that you sent, that's $614,000. $604,000 that you sent to the real estate attorney, the seller's real estate attorney, is unsuable because the contract expired and you failed to effectively communicate and get your money back, which is so scary. You have to legally make sure that you are pen to pad paper, exchanging, crossing out, rewriting different contingencies within the contract and sending it back and forth immediately. The seller's attorney has no right. There's no right to reach out to you and remind you of this expiration date. They have no responsibility. They have no responsibility. You need to make sure that you are writing and sending back and forth, because by law, then he has to. Then by law he has to. But he has a lawful agreement that he has to give, I don't know how they say, fair treatment. Fair treatment, I think, is fair treatment for explaining these fees, and you can request these fees. And there's a whole different process, and you learn that in the real estate investing book. So that's real life real estate and virtual reality real estate right here. $135 ETH, 146,000. What's the total ETH? 604. That's 653,000. So cool. 1,000 is 1 point. Don't no. Wait. No, that's one. It's $1,081,830. For 1,000 ETH. $5,409,000 for 5,000 ETH. 10,000 ETH. It's $10,818,300. 10 for 10,000 ETH. Understanding real estate predominantly, understanding gaming, understanding programming, understanding the root, base, essential of trading. And why is it? Because you don't have to ask anyone for a paycheck. You're making your own money, and you're doing it through the game of life. Right here. I don't know. All right, this is enough said. I'm going to go back to reading my real estate book. Just finish what you start. And I will see you in the next video.